Welcome back to Horrifically Well Read, Bled, and Said. We are so excited to introduce Rikki Goodwin, whose debut novel was Lover's Leap. That is out now and you should get it. But we are going to talk especially about a book that is coming out very soon and I absolutely loved, and that is Ghost Glasses. Welcome, Rikki.
Glad to be here.
Yes. So it's funny because we met at Horror Reader Weekend at Horror on the Hudson this past November, and I'm pretty sure you were out there when we were kind of just talking about books with a bunch of different people. And I mentioned that my favorite book is A Fine and Private Place by Peter S. Beagle. And what I love about that book is it just has this like melancholy, kind of romantic, ghostly quality to it. And I've been searching for a book that gave me that same feeling as the first time I read that. And I'm pretty sure your book, Ghost Glasses, is the first time I felt that way since I was in middle school reading A Fine and Private Place the first time.
Oh my gosh, that is so wonderful to hear. I was out there for that conversation because I wrote down that book to pick up because I've never read it. So I'm excited to check it out for sure.
Yeah, it's wonderful, and it just I don't know, there's this feeling that, we're horror people, we like scary stuff, and there's a lot of scary stuff in this book, but there's also this sort of, I'm looking at the blurb that you have from Paulette Kennedy on the front that says, "Filled with moments of gentle compassion," and I'm just like, "That is so perfect." That just it's just so wonderful, and I just can't wait to, dive in to talk about this.
I feel
I was
like your
so
book
excited to get that blurb.
Yeah,
yeah,
that's so cool.
Adam, has how many copies of Final Part Plays, like 8, 9?
Yeah, like 8 or 9 copies of different first editions and all the different covers, yeah.
And I finally read it in 2025, like, the second half, and I can see why it's your favorite book.
Mhm.
And I've never read someone who created and captured, like, a panic attack like that, but also, like, the sweet sadness and spooky and atmospheric, and so when you're sitting here just, "Please leave me alone, let me read Ricky's book." I don't ask it's not very often that, like, "Don't ask me to do anything, please don't interrupt me," like,
Yes.
all I wanna do is read this book. You just I watched you just sit there and fall in love,
Yeah,
like, it exactly what you just said, like, you just were chasing a feeling.
absolutely. So, I wanna talk a little bit about the inspiration for this book now. You kind of approach the haunting in a very original and different way, and I was just wondering, was there something that kind of was that spark that said, "This is something I wanna write about?"
Yeah, it started so silly to say this, but Flanagan's Hill House actually kind of made me want to write again. I hadn't written, since I was a teenager. And this was, I mean, it wasn't my debut book, but it was the first book that I wrote. And it was something to do with just the idea of haunting yourself. And so when I saw that show, I was like, I have to capture something like that. And I just kind of wanted to get into my own head a little bit, I guess, to see, where it would go. Like when you only have time, what do you do with it?
So I love the way that the opening chapter, beginning of this book really throws you into this world that you really don't know the rules or anything of, but it kind of sets up the 3 different kind of beings that exist in the world, where it's like regular
Right.
people, ghosts, and then this kind of other thing that you're kind of spending the book trying to figure out what exactly is going on with them. I was just wondering, like, did you have the scene is this where everything came out from, or did you have other things and then came back and set the stage? Because it just it pulls you in so well.
I did not start there. My first scene that I really spent a lot of time with while I was kind of mapping this out was actually in the grocery store, which was, a pretty big turning point of the story.
Okay,
And then I had
when
to,
she's in the grocery store?
yep.
Okay,
And so I had to go from there and kind of figure out how to place these things back in the world, you know what I mean? To make
awesome.
them, yeah, so it was a little bit of back and forth. This was usually I just start at the beginning and write, I'm not really a planner. I don't usually plot or anything, but this one I did have to go back and kind of work out some things.
Well, it's one of those books that it is very cerebral and it's very, like, in the especially the main character, we'll call Poppy, even though she doesn't
Yeah.
know what her name is really, in her head, it definitely also, I can see that because everything seems really intentional. Even when it seems like, okay, we're kind of going on this sidetrack and doing this, the other thing, everything leads back to sort of this main like push. And so that's really interesting that you started at that point and then kind of worked away because it is very puzzle like. And I think like the next thing I want to talk about in the way that that kind of fits in is how much memory, losing your memory, remembering things, what memory is so vital, and such a theme throughout this book. And I was just wondering, like, is that something that, you think about? Because I think about this is a ghost, but I think about people with dementia. I think about Alzheimer's. I think about the way we remember our childhoods is different than your parents do. And all these kinds of things just made me think about so much when it comes to memory. And I was just wondering how much that was like in your mind as you're writing it intentionally.
Yeah, it definitely is something that scares me quite a bit. My memory is not great. I have a dementia that runs in my family,
Mm.
and it's something that's always, on it's always in the back of my head. Like, am I remembering this correctly? And then people will bring up something that happened and I don't remember it. So it's definitely a deep-seated fear for me. And I know I wasn't intentionally.
Well, yeah. It scares me too. I have, like, really bad anxiety, or I've had, since I was a adolescent, and I really feel like, especially those, like, formative years when I didn't really know what it was, and I know that a lot of people say this, like, I really can hardly remember any specific, like, date in, like, a 5-year period almost, and, like, when people say, "Oh, remember this or that," or "We did this," and I don't remember it, it's a very, like, destabilizing moment when you realize people have this memory of you that you don't even know you were there at, right?
Yeah, and let alone, like, when you're like, "Remember when we did that?" I'm like,
No.
"No, I have no memory of that at all," and, like, I trust you, but what about when you the people that maybe you don't trust like
Yeah.
that, or like, "No, I wouldn't have done that." It's like, "But you did."
Yeah. Yeah, what a good point. I think also I love, like, this idea that, like, people and, like, the people that you love and care about can bring you back, from those moments of not remembering or, kind of losing yourself in that way.
For sure, or even reinventing yourself. So, you mentioned that Poppy's name is not Poppy, and she doesn't know what her name was, but she clings to that name and loves that name because it was, given to her by somebody that she loves. So I feel like that's important too.
Yeah, and that's like a something that she kinda, like, holds on to as she kinda repeats certain things at times to keep herself remembering and grounded, that name means something to her so much now, even though it very well could be her name, she doesn't even know, right?
Right, exactly.
So that's so cool, and, so I wanna talk about, setting a little bit as we have a few different settings that really play a part in this book, but the idea of this semi tractor trailer truck is the haunted house for a long
Right.
stretches of the book, right? Where did that idea come from? Because I love it.
I don't know. I feel like I kind of was always kind of disappointed by ghosts that are trapped in one space, like this is their dining room that they will stay in forever. And like I just kind of wanted to see the world, through a ghost's eyes and move around. And so I thought, haunting somebody that's traveling would be would be a cool vehicle for that. Yeah, literally, I guess.
Now, are you obsessed with giant truck stops?
I actually am not, but my husband is. He loves Truck Simulator. He plays it all the time. He goes to see the truck stops and like all the stuff. He knows the different semis. I don't know anything about them, but
Does he
I
have, like, a
did grow up in a small town on Route 66, and that was our whole claim to fame was our truck stop. So it was like
huh,
the truck stop that's in the book is very similar to the one that was the one I knew as a child
does
with
he
all
have,
the
like, a
weird like knickknacks and stuff.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, like, does he have strong opinions on, like, Buc-ee's and, like, the Loves and stuff that have, like, the, like, shower stations and which ones are best and was helpful?
Yeah, I don't know if he has strong opinions, but he is kind of enamored by them like a toddler would be.
I mean, I feel like a lot of people have a strong opinion about monkeys. They're very excited
Yeah,
about
people
it.
travel
Yeah,
hundreds of
for
miles
sure.
to get one.
I'm very tempted by those billboards upon time that I wanna it's
Yeah.
like, let's just spend, 500 miles today to go
Well, I
do
don't know
this.
where the closest one is.
It's
It's
like 5 hours.
yeah, but
Yeah.
we have billboards, like, in our area
I
saying
think it's like
But
260
yeah,
miles, to be honest, but
yeah,
yeah.
insane.
But anyway, some of those places are, when we've traveled, it's like you're grateful for those stops because they really do provide a nice respite. But
Mhm.
yeah, and I liked that, theme wise too. Like she spends a lot of time in a truck stop is just kind of being a safe space.
it is, right? Like it's one of those beacons in the night where you're
Mhm.
like,
It's
thank God
always
this is
open, it
open.
always
Yeah.
feels safe.
Right.
You can
Yeah.
get almost anything you want there
Yep.
now, it seems like. I think that what's really interesting to me anyway, at least when I'm on road trips, or I always was on road trips, there was always that feeling when you looked in cars, when you looked in trucks, I wonder where they're going. I wonder what their story is. And like, I love how this kind of captured, like, she's kind of in one, she's like, let's see what this person's about. And then actually finds out, right? So I
Yep.
just love that kind of like, this person seems nice. Let me see what's going on with them. And then, it kind of does that thing where you're like, you never know what anyone's going through, and you kind of see that up close and personal with this story. I love that. So let's talk about this asshole that you've created named August Waters.
Dear August.
He's one of those characters that you've met this guy before, right? You've always met someone
Oh
like
yeah.
August, but I love the
Everybody has
way
an
that
August.
you like, and I don't want to spoil anything, but he flirts with humanity multiple times. And you're like, "Wait
Yeah.
a second, is this a person? Is there someone here?" And then they disappoint you, and I feel like there's so many times that we have relationships like that, and I just wonder, like, just give me the good, bad, and ugly of where this character came from.
Well, yeah. I mean, everybody has an August. Everybody knows an August for sure. I wanted to, our main character is so removed from society. I needed somebody that was more on the heartbeat of what a regular internet person might be like. So I wanted to have somebody like a podcaster or somebody like a YouTube guy or whatever. And then he just he grew up into something really important to the story that I also hate. Yeah, I don't know. I love him though. I really do. Every time he would disappoint me while I was writing, I was also like I don't know. He's a
I f
complex man.
Yeah, I feel like I hope I wouldn't make the same decisions, but some of the things that he does, you really are like, "I can see why someone would do that," right?
For
And
sure. Like
yeah,
he's not just evil to be evil. And I
right.
would even say his mom loves him. He has friends, but yeah, I don't know. He was great.
Well, one thing that's really interesting to me about him, and I wanna talk about ghost hunters or, like, ghost people in general, but specifically about him, I think that there's a lot of times that you'll meet someone and you almost want them to fail, you want them to not be good at the thing they think they're good at because 'cause they're assholes, but then they really do have that ability, and it almost makes you more angry, and I think August with that because he really is one of,
Yeah.
the only people that we interact with that really can see these ghosts, right?
Right. Yeah, he's got it. And I don't know if it made him the way that he is or if he was always going to be that kind of man, but you can't deny the gift, right? It's frustrating, especially, just in society right now. There are so many people that are excellent at what they do where one of them just came back into the
Oh, man. Yep, absolutely, right? It's like, can we have a good older male writer that isn't
nope,
a piece of shit, for God's sake?
we cannot.
But yeah, no, that's such a great point, that it is, it's like you really do have this ability, but as a person, you're trash, right?
Yeah.
Well, while we were there at Horror Reader Weekend, we tried to do the ghost hunting and trying to have the ghost experiences, and I don't feel like anybody there was trash, and I
No,
think that was input by the fact that we did not really have that great of feedback. It was okay, but I think that speaks to if
the
that
respect that we had or something,
no,
or
if that was your point, like, the better they are, the shittier the person, and
oh,
I was like, "Well, I
well
guess we're all good people."
well, that's what I was wondering is, like, what is your
'Cause, like,
sort
Ryan LaSala could not get that shit. He's like, "Oh, okay, you don't
Yeah,
like" I'm like, "Oh, he must be really good."
yeah,
Just because something's a ghost doesn't mean it's nice.
yeah, that's
Right.
true, yeah. What are your there have been a lot of like reality TV shows and stuff like that where ghost hunters come in and they're really are super disrespectful and, aggressive and things like that. And I was just wondering if you were like making any kind of commentary on if you're going to do this kind of thing, how you should be approaching it.
Uh, I I'm not big on a whole lot of like the ghost hunting shows and stuff. Like I watched them to an extent, when they were new and when everything was new and fun before everything was fake. Well, I'm sure everything was still fake. But yeah, I don't think that it might just be more the medium that we use. Like how respectful can you be when you're doing a YouTube video for a bunch of fans or, when you're in a room with 3 dozen people trying to have a seance or whatever. A crowd is never going to be respectful.
Mm,
So I feel like that may be why so many experiencers that people actually do have are just like a one-on-one situation
Right,
with no, you know,
right,
nobody to witness.
right, right. Because there's just by having that crowd, there's an inherent almost showmanship, which is disrespectful of, like, the overall communication and revealing of itself.
yeah, definitely. So, want to talk about these like third sort of entities that are in this book. The very first one, like, that sort of starts the book off with a bang is this, like, terrifying bird-like ostrich-esque creature
Yeah.
with a super red-lipped mouth that, like, was, like it is both, like, pulls you into, like, "What is this?" And it's just, like, it's so off-puttingly wrong at the same time, and, there's a few of these in the book, and I was just wondering, did you, like, sit down and, like, map out, like, what they were and, like, what they look like? Because they are gorgeously grotesque creations.
I thought that was the only nickname you would use for me, gorgeous.
That one specifically, that first one, came from a nightmare that I had after spending the day on a train in Chicago. So,
My god.
yeah, I have some really weird, like, surreal nightmares sometimes. So, yeah, she was there. And most of them are just kind of, I don't want to spoil anything, but like,
Yeah,
think about the location and how the location what kind of creature would spawn in that kind of location, basically. um, yeah, spawn's a weird word to use there, but kind of.
I mean, it's
So I
gross.
wanted them to kind of match where they were hanging out for the most part.
gotcha. Yeah, that makes sense. That's the only one that I will describe. Readers, you have some very
You have your homework.
amazing new nightmares to discover in this book. And that's it's funny because it is, it's a very romantic, it's a very like yearning, all these kinds of feelings and stuff. And then you'll have these set pieces where I'm like, okay, this book is scary as fuck now. Like, and it happens, a couple times it's going to happen, because something's being, seeked out. But like there's other times where it's just like, "Oh god, why is this happening right now? This is horrifying." So like I love that. I'm thinking of The Field especially.
Yeah, I loved that scene, the field. That one, I don't know where it came from, but it really creeped me out actually while I was writing it.
Yeah, I'm gonna say like I feel like I really, really, really want this to be made into a movie, and at the same time, I don't know if I actually wanna see some of these things brought to life. the same time, but oh my god, it would be amazing. Definitely just in my head it is, so very
Well, that's
cool.
good. I'm glad.
Yes, for those. And I wanted to know, we do find out how our lead character died,
Mhm.
and just wanted to think, was that morbidly fun to figure out how to kill this character? Because it is kind of almost absurd what happened. Um,
Yeah, I kind of wanted it to be because I didn't want the story to be about her. Like, you know what I mean?
like her
Like, I
actual life
wanted,
kinda thing.
right. Yeah. So she's trying to find out who she is. She thinks it's important to her. But then, you know, what's really what really takes up the majority of her time is finding this new community and leaving all of that stuff behind. And it didn't have to be, people die every day, and it's not always poetic and it's not always beautiful. And I just kind of wanted it to be a very mundane thing.
Yeah, and I love, like, this idea of this sort of, like, quiet, like, haunting the way that she just, suddenly she's there and she comes back home and she's like, "Huh, did that really happen? What's going on?" And, like, it definitely is very much like anything else happens that day. Unfortunately, she had a bad accident that day, right? And then it's like everything just kind of continues from there. And, I think about the whole time too, like, there's something in there that I feel like she really doesn't wanna find out. Because if she really wanted to, she probably could have at any point, right? Whether it's finding out her name or any of that kind of stuff, and it's like, that's not really her journey as much, right?
Yeah, and I feel like I don't think this would spoil anything, but I think she's probably found out many times,
Yeah.
and then
Okay, I
it's
was
just
thinking that
not
too.
yeah, and it's just not important enough for her to keep, you
Yeah.
know? Poppy, I'm having a struggle as, uh, like, a white woman right now, just in general,
Yeah,
where I wanna help, and I don't know how, and I don't know how to not make things worse, and I think that that accidentally came out a lot in this story with her, where she doesn't have the culture, she doesn't have the ancestors, she doesn't
yeah.
have anything that belongs to her, and she wants to give and has nothing. You know what I mean? So where she came from and how she died and all of that kind of thing, it just all kind of takes a back seat for her as she's trying to see where she can help, you know?
Yeah. No, that's awesome. That's such a good point. I think that that is, that struggling feeling that we all have right now, and obviously this book was written before the events of the
Right.
last month or so, but it is,
But it's been
it's like this
ongoing.
helpless. Yeah, oh yeah, it's been happening, but, I think especially people will identify right now, with that idea of how do I help and what do I do? So, yeah, that's a really, really interesting thing for sure. Another thing that's really interesting to me with the way that your sort of ghost world works is that they are truly like physical beings. They're there, but people just kind of don't recognize that they are, or like they can touch things, all that kind of stuff. And I just was like, how fun was that to create and play in this world with this character or these characters?
Loved that aspect of it because like I said, I'm fairly forgetful. So when something is not where I left it, or, the TV is on and I didn't leave it on, and I have this moment like, did I do that? Or is somebody messing with me? All that kind of like, what if there's a whole other person just hanging out in here, just eating my food and watching my TV and whatever. So it was definitely fun to play with that for sure and watch the slow dawning of realization when Buddy is like, I am not imagining, right?
Yes. No, I love that, and, it's funny, I think I have, like, started thinking about it, it's like, wait, sometimes when you're, like, driving somewhere and suddenly you're there or, like, those kinds of things, is it because something's happening that, you're not looking at now? I'm thinking, was there a ghost with me, like, during that moment? Or, like,
And just slip
I
right
s
out of your memory. Yeah.
yeah, it's like, I swear I had this, like, coffee was almost full and now it's half filled, It's like this
Exactly.
ghost is taking a drink now, or like, I just love that. It's like, oh, this blueberry donut just shows up. It's like, whatever. I'm gonna eat it.
Must have bought that. I don't know.
So I know that's so good. But I love also like the little things, but then the big things where she's, robbing stores and just taking, the most designer clothes and all this kind of stuff. And it's like this mixture of like wish fulfillment, a yes day, like I can do anything and get away with it. Um, but ultimately the sort of sadness at the same time of that because you don't get to, she hasn't for 50 years or whatever it is, been able to enjoy that with anyone.
Yeah, the lack of interaction really takes those material things, and she tries her best to just pretend, like she talks to people like they can hear her and goes about her day. And yeah, I don't know. It was fun to write, but it was also kind of sad too because I do feel like that sometimes, when you're at the grocery store and everybody's, head down or whatever, and you're like, I am alone in a building full of people.
That, like, existential awareness of yeah, just like you
Yeah.
do. Sometimes see, when you were saying about, like, I wonder where they're going, it's like when you're saying about the car driving, I think for me, it's like you realize, like, they're all living their own separate lives, and they're just
Mhm.
intersecting for a brief moment, but they all
Hmm.
matter to someone else, they all have their own lives, like yeah, it's it is that moment of it's weird.
Yeah, and I could definitely feel your emotion as you wrote this book, I sent you a message, I'm like, I didn't know, like, it was gonna cause me to want to cry like a little baby, especially at the end,
Sorry. Yeah.
but yeah, it's so beautiful, and I think it was something that I just really needed right now, so, thank you for that, it was like the
I'm glad.
catharsis I needed, I think.
Glad it came at a good time for sure.
Yeah. So another thing that's really big in this book, and I want to talk about and see because I think we all in this space are probably this way, but the importance of notebooks and loving just having these little notebooks that you carry around. Obviously, she does it for remembering things and all this
Mhm.
kind of stuff. But like, I immediately was like, oh man, I always have like 7 notebooks that I've written one thing in each one. And I like this
Oh,
notebook
yeah.
so much, so I don't want to write anything in it. And
Absolutely.
it's like,
It's like, I love it so much, so I'm not gonna use it for its intended purpose.
Yep, that's me too. I am a perpetual notebook purchaser and never use them at all.
Yeah, nope.
Yeah.
I forced myself to get a super beautiful one. We were at a local bookstore, and
Mhm.
it was, like, the color and the shape of in fact, I should have gotten one for Tanya Pell because she said she loves irises as
No,
well.
and it's so soft.
But it is
Mm,
beautiful with this, like, the depth of the purples, but it's like it's I don't know, it's like texture, but, like, the seams of, like, gold going through and the pages are gold, and you it almost looks like it's too fancy to write in, but, like, the cover's so soft and malleable, so I'm using it for my, like, language learning that I figured, like, maybe I'll pick it up more often and I can be a little more free with just, like, what I jot in there, like, I don't know, I'm stressed out
yes,
thinking about
do
it
it.
already.
Use those pretty pages,
I
smear them.
know,
It's okay.
I know. I have one that I love that I only just have displayed on my shelf, which is, like, full of bugs,
Mhm.
what is it? Like, embroidered bugs,
Yes, on the cover,
and I
yeah.
just don't even wanna use it, you know? But, yeah, we gotta use 'em,
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
I
you
just
gotta use
know
them.
yeah, I just know I'm
Sticker
gonna write
stickers.
the dumbest thing
that's
possible in
it.
it
Is
when
that
Oh,
I'm
from
for sure. It's
past
fine.
experience? Is that what you're
yes,
telling
from
me?
being made fun of and, like, what's it no. But
Did you
y
make fun of yourself is what you're saying? You harshly judge yourself? I
you
mean,
do, like, you write, like, and you're like,
reading a Facebook status from, like, 15 years ago is horrible,
awful.
right?
Oh, yeah.
So, the notebooks hopefully are somewhat better.
That's true, nobody else saw it probably, so that's
Right.
always a good thing.
Until, you need to look back and see. I would be a mess if I had only my own notes to go off of for anything. Like, I would be like, I'll know what this means. I can read that word. And then that would be that. Like, I wouldn't know anything.
Absolutely not, yeah, I'll write notes to myself at work, and I'm like, "Well, guess that's never gonna happen because I have no idea what that
Yeah.
Yeah, that is
says."
true, yes,
I
yes,
always,
we do that to each other. I'll, like,
Yeah,
write you the prettiest, like, nicest
yeah.
card, and it'll be so romantic, and then like, "What's that say?" And I'm like, "Are you serious? Can't you contextually figure it out?"
Yeah.
Yeah. I Hey, we've already had this conversation about the writing device that I got you
No.
because you can't write your yeah, you can tell her.
Yeah, what's, like, the remarkable and, like, you
Yes.
write it and then it, like
Yeah.
yes. My handwriting's so bad, it's never right. So, like
No. I
Easily.
considered that. I ended up doing a Kindle Scribe instead, but they're so cool.
yeah, right? The
I do have the Kindle Scribe, yeah, I do, and it is nice. Yeah, I had to get, like, a better pen for it
Sure, yeah.
because the one was, like, I could hover it from, like, an inch above,
yeah,
and it
it's
was, like,
too
writing, and I was like,
right.
"What the hell's going on here?"
You need it more, like,
Yeah.
accurate.
Um, no, but it is nice, like, if you're an author and you don't want any of the, like, distractions and pinging of, like, notifications or
Mhm.
anything like that, it is really nice because 'cause you're getting the benefit of the technology without the
Yeah.
interruptions, so
Yeah, I do all my editing on mine. I'll just upload a manuscript to it, and then I can write right on it, which
oh my
is
gosh, that's a great idea.
yeah, it's so nice because I missed that, with everything being digital now. It's not the same to just have a squiggly red line over something, you know?
I just feel
Like
like um, I don't know, like, even when I said about the language thing, but it's like, even when I'm learning, like, with our exchange student, like, I'll be like, "Can you spell that?" It's like, I have to see the word in my head, and so I
mhm.
feel like when I'm writing, like, something like that too, like, all of a sudden it's like, "Okay, now I have it remembered," but if I were to, like, type it, it's not
Yeah, it
gonna
means
be
nothing.
impressed
Yeah.
in my brain. I'm not gonna be able to remember it, so there's something about doing that, and I like that part too, but how much time would you say that it, like, saves you with the editing and that option of just uploading it and writing it there?
Oh, I think I probably take longer, honestly.
Oh, okay, but maybe it's
Yeah.
more satisfying?
It is more satisfying, and I do think that I have a better sense of what I mean with my edits, writing them down, just like what you said with learning a word or whatever. If I make a little note in the margin, I'm like, when I go back to rework a scene or whatever, I know exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah, I think you have a little bit more, like, I don't know, like, a physical, like, relationship with the words when you're doing it that way too. It's less, like, mechanical, really, and I think, like, especially with horror and this kind of stuff that you really want that emotion even when you're doing the editing and stuff. I think that sounds like the
For
best
sure.
way.
Yeah, so are you working on something right now?
Oh, I just now, today, submitted my final edits for my third book. It's coming out
What?
with Wicked. Yeah,
Congratulations.
yeah, I'm really excited about it. So I have no idea when it's coming out or anything. I don't
Huh?
have a cover for it yet, but edits are done. Yay.
That's awesome.
And who did you say that was?
Yeah, that's with Wicked House.
That's
Cool,
awesome.
awesome, yeah.
Yeah.
Um, and then what's your process for how you're gonna pick the cover?
I don't this is my first book with them, and I'm not really sure
Okay.
how they go about it. They asked me what I was envisioning, and I told them a bunch of stuff and sent them a really terrible picture I drew on my phone, and I'll see what they come back with.
So, when we met you at Horror Reader Weekend, you were one of the people that were Christine Harold had set up the thing called the Pitch Olympics,
Mm.
and you were very much one of the first people to go up and pitch your book, and to the chant of, "Oh, Ricky, you're so fine." Nobody cheered for you, and it was a lot of fun. But do you feel like for your new book that you're already thinking about what that pitch is gonna be, or, like, are you willing to share it, or don't
Oh, you put
worry,
me
ask
on the
to share it?
spot. How dare you?
I know. Look, I had to ask. It's my job to ask the hard thing. And if not,
I
it's okay, but
don't
maybe just, like, 2 to 3 words about what it's about?
2 to 3 words? So, did you ever well, let's
Just
see.
1 noun,
Man,
1 verb, and 1 adjective.
Let's Mad Lib it
Yeah,
here,
no,
so
1 adverb.
well, this is a small town suburbia horror involving a single father and his son and their babysitter. Um,
I love it.
yeah, I just read it again, and I think it's really good.
I love it. What age
Yeah,
child are we talking here for the like, are we talking, like,
he is
preschool?
11.
Oh,
Oh,
okay, so in that kind of
He's
that
like a
age group.
Five Nights at Freddy's kid. Yeah.
Okay, perfect, perfect.
that's my wheelhouse. That I'm a 5th grade teacher, so that's
Exact
I
I was like, you're
deal
at
with
that
them
age
every
where
day.
they're little kids, but they're also could be little best
Yes.
with the
Yes.
that's gonna be awesome. And then the other thing I wanted to say, not only are you a good writer, um, when we were there, Adam was getting his first tattoo and I was struggling with indecision to a level of, I don't know if I wanna get the same thing or what I was gonna do, and Ricky was so kind that she was willing to step in and take my tattoo appointment if I bailed. And I was like, "What are you gonna get?" You're like, "I don't know. I'll figure it out." It's just like, I mean, that is a friend right there to be like, "I got you." Because I was really nervous, and I ended up doing it. I was glad that I we did get, like, I got a smaller matching
Mhm,
ghost to you, but I was remarking about your custom ear jewelry of how well you style and pierce everything, and you're a piercer by day, and I was like, we're several states away, but I was like, I would drive down here to just have
mhm,
you take care of me because there's like you clearly it was just like really put people at ease. You're easy to be around. And I was saying, especially for my youngest daughter, she loves all the piercings. And I was like, okay, when she starts getting into some of the other things, I was like, we're gonna go do a road trip and I showed her your stuff and she was like, oh yeah, I'm so ready to
sick.
yeah, she was so excited for it. So I mean, you're just
Yay.
clearly a very creative, artistic person all over the place, just oozing it out of you from writing to and not to mention the best style and the best shoes too, because so, I mean, you
Well,
just you have a lot of creativity.
And the best snacks, right?
Yes.
oh, that's right, snacks. That's what I try to have people remember is the snacks.
Yeah, when I slept through dinner entirely and, like, y'all rescued me with, like, Slim Jim and, like, Swedish Fish or something,
Well
or
dinner,
not
yeah.
or maybe
Yeah.
it's Cabbage Patch Kids or something, but
Sour Patch.
yeah, yeah. Cabbage Patch. Well, yeah, doll babies too. But no, I mean, it's one of those things that I love that you're able to have so many different outlets. I think there's a lot of people that they weren't blessed with that, or they don't have the vivid nightmares and things that you do where you're kind of turning it into to other things or helping others to express themselves with, whatever piercings or tattoos. And I just think it's a really cool aspect to meet someone with so many multifaceted skills towards creativity.
I really appreciate that. You just, like, boosted me up for, like, a whole 2 minutes, and it was just so nice. I'm just sitting here grinning.
Oh,
Well, thank
well,
you.
it's true. It's true. And I want to listen offer to our listeners that we joke around about. He gave a really good way to just work on an odd social situation when you've got to meet a lot of people and there's like an open seat and you want to sit down and you go, oh, who's sitting here? Oh, it's me. And then you just sit down and it works so well. And everyone's like, okay. So, I mean, to me, I have
That's me taking a hold of my social anxiety.
it was awesome
I
though. And
love it.
now I was like, "Oh, okay, I think I can do that
Yeah, it's such a great tip. It works every
every
time.
damn time.
Yeah,
And it's how we associate. We're like, oh, we have a recording Ricky night. Oh, who's
although
recording that? Oh, it's her.
yeah, I have to say I'd probably be the one that I'd sit down and say that, and they're like, "Actually, Jim's sitting there?"
No, I really, really am so glad that I met you 2 because you were such a big part of the weekend, and you're so kind to just bring me into every conversation that you happen to be having, and it was just awesome, and then you gave me an invite to be here, and it's just so great to have such a nice community to be a part of.
Yes.
Well, I had no idea what I was getting into with the book besides I knew that you were cool, and then I started reading it, and I'm just like, "Oh my god," like, I'm so in love with this book, so, like, it definitely was a very happy thing, and,
Serendipitous.
yeah,
Your junior high
Yeah.
self needed this.
absolutely, like, this is a book that I will be gifting to anyone and everyone that I think likes good books and will be pushing, so
You know what
hope
I'm
don't get tired of me posting about it because I
yeah.
will be a lot.
Prepare for him to be
Oh, that's so exciting.
obnoxious,
Yeah,
in the best
absolutely.
way.
And
Yay.
also, by the way, when we were talking about bad writing, like, your handwriting should be like a font. It's so good.
Yeah, and
Like, it's all like, I'm like, "You didn't just this isn't really her writing." Like,
I'm left-handed, so it's always kind of weird.
I get it.
Yeah.
It
Yes.
looks amazing.
Well, thank
Well,
you. I appreciate it.
Adam, since you love this book so much, immediately as we're looking at the book here as we're talking,
Mhm.
you should give that to your teacher friend and ask her, pay her for the materials to let her bedazzle the front of it like she did your
Oh,
book, because that would
yeah.
look incredible
That this would be a
with
good
the black.
bedazzled book,
Yes,
yeah.
with the like the gradient of the gray,
Mhm.
the silver, and we could get one made for you, Ricky.
Yeah.
Don't ask
That
me
would
to
be
do
so
it.
I love a bedazzled product.
Right? I mean, his teacher friend did an amazing job with his book, and
Oh,
it's one of
that's
those
so
things if
cool.
you can do it well, but also we have the other friend that Jessica Doobie Doo that does the book bindings
Finding
that
do
she'll
like a
make like
hardcover.
yeah, so that could be something awesome too.
Mm.
We'll see. We gotta like, the thing is when you're in love with books like this, the way it's a treasure for you, you're gonna figure out how you wanna display it.
Well, that's the thing is,
Sure.
and I was saying, and to hype you up some more, I know you're getting tired of it, Ricky, but like
You're giving me a cabinet.
but, it's like we read indie horror, right? And, like, there's books that you go into Barnes& and Noble or whatever it is, and they're sitting there, and that's great and all that kinda stuff, but I feel like when you find, like, a book that like this, you're like, "Oh, this is why I do this," right?
Yes.
And, like, this is
Right.
definitely one of those books as I'm reading it, I'm like, "Oh, this is why I do this," like, to find a book like this. So, like, just truly
You're out here looking for the gems.
and this is one, for sure.
Oh, thank you so, so much. I really appreciate that. That's awesome.
Well, thank you, and we just will continue to support you, and hopefully you'll be willing to come back when you're ready to share more about the 3rd novel and have
Mhm.
your pitch perfected. I won't put you on the spot next time. Maybe I will, I don't know. It's
And
You
probably
know
won't.
what? I'll have it ready to go. I'll have it written down.
But no, it's you're doing great things, and I think this is one of those type of books that and just for full disclosure, usually, like, before we record, one of us reads the book, and Adam went first, so because we only had a copy, so it's my turn next, so I will officially let you know what I think because when I waited so long to read The Fine and Private Place, and it was like he was so spot on with how gorgeous it was and wonderful, so I know that I'm gonna feel the same way about this, but, I'll join the obsession of being obnoxious very soon.
So, no rush. It's okay. It's not going anywhere.
But we're excited for you, so yes, keep going, keep doing your thing, and trust your gut with
yep,
making these great books because it's
we'll be right there hyping you up.
yep, absolutely.
I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much.
Is your power back on at your shop?
Finally. Yeah, that was great. It was off all day.
Those serendipitous snow days, you were supposed to do something else, so that works.
Yeah. Yeah, and I did. I came home and I started reading Viggy Hampton's new one. So
A
that was
veritable
great.
how
Yes,
yeah,
a veritable household pet. Yeah, it's
yeah, I've heard
awesome.
so many good things about that.
I absolutely
Yeah, for
cannot
sure.
wait to read that, like, it just the concept, anything about that,
Oh,
so,
yeah,
yeah,
and our
you
f
let me know, I'll let you know how your book is, and then you can let
mhm.
me know how her book is.
Yes, our friend
I
Haley
totally
Newland
will.
read that and told us how wonderful it was, so I'm sure can't wait for that too, so,
Yes. Love all this love
Yeah, for sure.
community,
it's
just
what it's
support.
about.
That is what it's about. It
Yeah, it
absolutely
really
is.
is. We're writing for ourselves.
Exactly.
Yep, so hopefully we see you soon at another event,
Yep.
Well, for sure. Are you guys going to like AuthorCon or anything? You're going to Stoker, but you're not going to the Virginia one that's
Brian Keene's
is it called
we'll have to look
AuthorCon?
at that.
I
Yeah.
I
Yeah, we
thought
have
we
some
were.
friends that'll be there too. Are you're gonna be there too? So now we might have
Yep,
to.
I'm gonna be there.
Yeah, I'm supposed to go to My Bloody Valentine this
Mhm.
weekend in New Jersey.
Sweet.
Or New
Yes,
York. I think it's New York. Port Jervis or whatever it
it's
is,
New
yeah.
Jersey.
Is it really? Okay,
I
whatever.
maybe I'm wrong. I really thought it was New Jersey. I thought the port. Okay. I've been sharing the graphics, so but you know what? See, Adam's right about everything. He's the C-type personality where I'm the one that's like, "Oh, I looked at that once and I'm pretty sure it's
AKA
was
terrible anxiety.
uh-huh." So now that he's saying that, now I really am gonna second guess myself, but I swear it's New Jersey. But that being said, I'm jonesing for it's New York. Thank you. It's absolutely New York, my friends. And that's probably where because I was like, if you're in this area, go like if you're in New Jersey, Massachusetts, like drive down. But I love going for the book events and the times. And I'm really we had just had Christine on. We didn't put the episode out yet. So by the time but I just wanna go to every one of her events. I was like, "Can we set up a payment plan or something?
No.
Can we just, like, take part of our paycheck and just send it to you so I don't spend it on anything else? Because I wanna go to all your events."
Yeah, she does such an amazing job.
They're so fun. It's such a different experience than, like, a regular con,
Yes,
just
it's not
hanging out.
exhausting, it's
Yeah.
so fun, it's where that whole feel of I mean, she really, as we said to her, is like, I mean, she really thought about what do people want when they're and it's like, well, we want authors, we want discussion, we want friendships, we want good book, we want time to read, we want good food,
Mhm.
exploration. Like she really thinks of everything. So, are you planning on to go to another one of her events?
I would love to. I think she just announced one in New Orleans, didn't
Yes,
she?
that's the one I'm really like, damn it,
But it's like only a
on the
month later is the
Mississippi.
next
I know.
New York, so yeah.
Yeah,
And how many have you been to?
2.
This what
Yep.
did you go to
Just
Virginia or the first New York?
I went to Virginia.
Oh, awesome.
Is this the
Yeah, I
second
didn't
time
go
you
to the
roomed with
first New
Bridget?
York.
No, that was the first time you
The
roomed with Bridget.
second time with Bridget, right?
Is it?
What was it?
With Bridget? It was that your first or second time rooming with Bridget Rose?
Oh, second time. We
Right. Yeah,
are
see, that's why you guys got
just
the snack
we're just
bestie thing
roomies.
right down.
Yeah.
We were due for a Bridget update on our podcast, so every once in a while we pop her in every few episodes.
And she's like, "Hey,
Our
what do you
Nice.
friend
think?"
Bridget.
She's so great. I love her.
Yeah, so she's great, and she's doing all the fun stuff with the films and the movies
The
and
weird
all.
movies, yeah.
Yeah, I just love it. Everybody brings their own little flavor to this community, and so fun. And then I'm going to shout out my other friend Renee, that's been on the show here. Renee,
It's that Twisted
who
Spine
is the
right
cool
now.
no, okay, Renee lives in Florida, and she just had, like, a credit on her flight, so she was like, "Yeah, I just signed up for Rachel Harrison's class in New York and just flew up to Twisted Spine by
I
herself."
love that. That's
And
amazing.
I
She's
was
so
like,
great.
"You are so great. I wanna grow up to be as cool as you."
I don't wanna go to Aldi by myself.
But, I mean, she motivates me to be like and that's the thing, she's flown to Indiana, like, she's h ride or die for this, so I love that. A great support to the community and a fellow author as well, but it's just I mean, that's the thing is once you find like, Twisted Spine is so awesome, and I think this is
Haven't
her
been yet.
second time within, like, 6 weeks, and it's like once you find your people that you like,
Mhm.
and it's like it's worth it to travel and do it. I don't
Oh,
know if
yeah.
I could still be as brave as her, but you know what I mean.
Mhm.
Gotta get up there. But I'm a nervous traveler too, Adam, and Aldi is about as far as I'll go.
Like,
Yeah,
where's my truck stops on the plane? There is none.
exactly.
I need to stop,
Yeah.
break. I need the motion to stop for a little. I need to browse. The last time we were at a truck stop, I bought a stick pony that played music.
That is true.
See, that's
And
great. I love that.
then I got a Bigfoot shirt too. Did. He's the second one.
I was like, I didn't know Indiana was such a Bigfoot place, but,
I was like, we can each wear one to bed. See, I was thoughtful.
it's true,
But
you know?
yeah, you don't know the treasures you're gonna get.
Exactly. Truck stops are just a magic place full of
Yeah, and
whatever
you
you might
might get
need.
a ghost hitchhiker, right?
Exactly.
Hey,
So
next time. That
exactly, hey,
sounds like that's free 99
you
right
know
there.
what? If the radio just randomly comes on, we know why.
Oh my god.
Mhm.
Don't spoil it for me. I haven't started it yet.
So, February 24th officially, Ghost Glasses is
February
out.
24th officially. That is like 2.5 weeks from now or something, right?
Yes,
Yes. What are
and
you doing to celebrate?
I don't know yet. Maybe I'll get a tattoo.
Yes! Like, of Adam's face as your biggest fan.
Very
That's
please
much
so
so,
don't.
yeah.
Don't don't scare people like that. But
God. All right, fair enough. But I really hope you do celebrate because it's a huge, big deal, and it's not another day.
yeah,
It's gonna be a great thing. So
it's
we're so
truly a beautiful, horrific book.
Well, thank you so much. I will definitely celebrate.
I do. I love to be ripped apart and come
Yeah,
undone by a book.
well,
That's what I'm looking for.
you certainly will be.
There you go. I
So,
love it. And I'll just
Yay.
say, you sons of bitches.
That's what I want in the review, please.
it's one of those books too where, like,
Ricky, son of a
when
bitch, Goodwin.
well, it's funny because, like, you see the title and you're like, "Oh, okay," and then you finish the book and you're like, "God damn it,"
Ricky Goodwin.
and you'll know exactly what I mean when you read it.
All
You have
right.
to read
All
it, so
right. All
but
right.
wonderful, thank you so much, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your night, and thank you for coming on.
Yes, it was a pleasure.
Thank
Good
y'all for
night.
having me. It wasn't even scary. Yeah.
We got you. Come back and we'll have a fun time again.
Okay. Bye.